Hello everybody, it is Tuesday, the 25th of January. I want to talk about the law, the rule of law. And what is happening at the moment is actually biblical. So whatever you do, do not throw out that book, because it tells you, it gives you a blueprint for situations that are happening over and over and over again. They look different now than before, but they've taken a different form, but they are operating on the same principles. And as long as we can see the principles and got the knowledge of good and evil the right way up, then we can see it coming over and over and over again. And we will understand it, doesn't matter what form it takes. So, the rule of law, which started with Moses. So let's just look what happened in the Sinai. They were taken into the wilderness. Ring any bells? Right, so they were taken away from the structure that had sustained them, good or bad, but they were taken away from that structure. They were in the wilderness, they were in disarray, and they were in danger because they had Pharaoh coming up behind them. So they asked for a way out of this. Now, what energy did they use to ask? They were in fear. They were in fear, and the information that will come to you will serve two things: fight or flight. And that's what they were in. They were in fight or flight. So what they needed was unity. And they were not going to run, aimlessly into the wilderness. They had a destination. They had a desire to somewhere they wanted to go to, which was the promised land. So there was a need for order, and there was a desire to go to this place, an intention. And they were given the law. Now, folks, the law is the 10 Commandments. That's it. That's the law. And that is the law of our Father, the law of our conscience, which tells you good and bad. And it is not a very strict law, but basically there are rules in there that prevent you from doing harm. Do no harm. Do not steal, do not desire what something else, do not kill, do no harm. But it is very loose. Within that, you have a lot of freedom of what you can do, as long as you don't go up against that. But then the spirit of fear, which gives them strength, because that's what fear does, it gives you strength. It should be to run or fight, but there. It gave them strength, the law gave them order, and with that they went forward. But then the desire for a promised land, and the strength that they were gaining, and the togetherness, the unity they were gaining through the law, it then commanded them on the way to possess that land, drive out the people and just take it. And they murmured. They wouldn't do it. But they were led on the Spirit, and the Spirit devised its own laws, which are the laws of Moses. It devised its own laws, and some of those laws are in conflict with the overriding law of the 10 Commandments. So if an adulterous woman is to be stoned, it's going against "you shall not kill." And there are other things which goes against the overriding law of the 10 Commandments. But so it devised its own laws. And then when they got into the promised land, which was only a part of themselves, the energy of fear is only a part of what you can be, or how you can, you can receive on an energy of compassion. It would give you different information. But they made that Lord. And that was a choice. They made a part of themselves Lord, and it became all. That is what happened. And its laws became the laws of the land, became their laws, the laws of Moses. Fast forward to now. No, first of all, on the way, this thing would declare righteous that which served it. So the outcome justified the means. I make righteous that which serves me. My intention is to get to the promised land, and I will make righteous that which serves that intention. And again, what is righteous was already declared in the Ten Commandments. So the intention cannot declare righteous above what has been declared righteous from the beginning. So fast forward to now, there is a very good video of David Ickes about the law. And that is here in Britain, and I dare say that's no different anywhere else. And that is that we are operating now under two sets of laws. There is a common law, and again David Ickes says it's a very loose law, and it basically says do no harm. So it's basically the Ten Commandments. It's the next level down from the Ten Commandments. And then we have corporate law, which is a law of commerce, which came from the trades, when worldwide trade started. It developed trading laws, then corporate laws, and they're now called statute laws. And statute laws are different from the common law. So now we have, and again, what happened in the Sinai, that thing should have served them. It was there to serve them. It was there to serve life. And then life became the servant of it. So we have in our system different heads that are there to serve us. We have medicine, we have education, we have the law, we have trade, all there to serve us. And yes, they operate under different rules, which medicine is not the same as trade. So you might need a different set of rules. But the rules must, again, operate within common law. It cannot go against common law because that is the overriding law. Like the Ten Commandments are the overriding law. Commerce is one of those heads that we have got of our system that has elevated itself above all the others. And now its law, the law of commerce, has become the law of the land, seemingly. And since it is a law of corporations, the parts of the land have to become corporations in order to operate in that law. And we must become commodities to operate. So our definition inside the law of commerce is that we have become commodities owned by corporations. And there again, one part that should serve us has elevated itself over all the others and created imbalance. And we must now serve under its law, where its law should be beneath common law, it has elevated itself above. So this is biblical. And if you get the overriding, the blueprint of all of this, of what is being done, then you can see it in all its different forms. And that is the blueprint where one part is elevating itself above all, devises its own laws, and those laws become the law of all. And now every other head that our system has must serve this elevated head, the law of commerce, trade. So where I have now my sister coming to me and telling me she needs to take this medicine that's being given at the moment in order to serve the economy. Yeah, so medicine, what we put in our bodies, must serve the economy. Medicine is there to serve health. It's a completely different part. It has got its own function, and its function is not to serve something else. Education must serve commerce. It's bringing the knowledge, our knowledge, to the young, so they have a baseline knowledge on which to build. Right now, the knowledge that is given to them is that which serves commerce. Law, we are under corporate law, so it serves commerce. Politics, obviously. So what does, and why? Why would people go for that? Because those people that are in this elevated head, that is commerce at the moment, everything flows to them. Which is precisely why Joshua decided to make that thing law. All. Make it God. Serve only it. Why? He said so. Because it gives you houses that you have not worked for, and it gives you vineyards and olive groves that you have not planted. You are on the receiving end of the wealth. That's why. So why we must teach this correctly is because it programs our subconscious with a perception. The way it is taught, it programs our subconscious with a perception of who we are and what we should do and what is good and evil. So the way it is taught in the churches, this in the Sinai, is that when the Spirit commanded them to go into this land and possess it and to drive out the people murmured and they were in fear. And were being taught, bad Israelites. How dare they? How dare they refuse? Well, they refused, and I don't think they were conscious of that, because in their subconscious was, what ruled in their subconscious was still the Ten Commandments, and what the Spirit was commanding of them went against that. You shall not desire that which belongs to somebody else, never mind drive them out and just take it. That's stealing. So, but over a period of time, again, the laws in their subconscious, which were the Ten Commandments, were replaced by the laws of Moses, which served, the intention. So now, our knowledge of good and evil, our conscience, they're trying to program that as in what is good and evil according to corporate law. Where our roots will not do it, because our roots are still the Ten Commandments. But as I said, there's layer upon layer upon layer. There's a veil on top of that now, where we were being told rules that would serve one thing or another, and it will make righteous that which serves it. So we must go back to the beginning. We must go back to the root, which is and evaluate everything from that. And if we have devised systems, and yes, those systems may have their own rules, that's fair enough. But their rules cannot be above common law. Their rules cannot be above the Ten Commandments. And it is when you deviate from our knowledge of good, from the Ten Commandments, what is being done is inhuman. Because it is that knowledge of good and evil that makes us human. So if you deviate from that, you become inhuman. If a system devises laws that go against the Ten Commandments, that system becomes inhuman. And the system is ours. We work in it, we have created it, we work in it. Its laws must be according to us, and not us serve according to it. And there's the correct knowledge of good and evil. And as long as the churches are teaching, yours is not the reason why, yours is just to do or die. If it's the will of God, it's righteous. And don't engage your own brain. Don't look inside of yourself and ask yourself, is this righteous? Is this good or evil? So as long as the churches preach the will of God is good and you must just do, and if you die, well, then it's just you don't understand the higher meaning of it all, that creates a baseline rule inside your subconscious of what is good and evil. And then they can bring in these systems, and although, as I say, what's at the bottom of our pit still rises up and says this can't be, the programming on top of that says that is righteous. That is something greater than yourself, and you must serve it. Rather, everything should serve you, should serve us. If we created it, it should serve us. It should give to life. So that is why we must understand the teachings of that book, because they are the blueprint of everything that happened afterwards. As I said, it takes different forms, and then we don't recognize it anymore, but it is the same thing happening over and over and over again. And we must see it at the blueprint stage, so we can see anything else that was built on it, from it. Anyway, I think I leave it at that for this morning, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.